Hi guys, and welcome back to Adams Aquatics. In today's video we're going to be talking to you about how I changed my mind on how I raised my fry. So over the last couple of months I've put out a few videos on how I raised my fry, but actually I've changed the way in which I thought about it. I've been doing it differently recently, so I want to give you the pros and cons of all of the ways in which I've done it. Okay, so I've used 3 different methods in order to raise my fry over the last few months. One is obviously the breeder box technique, where you remove them, you put them in the breeder box and you grow them out in the breeder box. Number 2, growing them out in the fry grow out system. And number 3, leaving them in the tank with the parents. So there are pros and cons to all of these. So let's start at the beginning over at the fry grow out system. Okay, so you guys have seen this many times before, my breeding trays. Now, this is a very effective way of growing out fry. So it allows them to grow out in this system in a lot of volume of water in order to grow out nice and quickly. So what does this give you? It gives you separation from the parents. It also gives you the ability to be able to feed them live foods, and it also be able to give you the ability to look at them from the top down. So are you able to see them growing out nice and quickly? No. So I personally find the top down view a bit more difficult than I do from looking at them from the side, because you can't really see them growing out very well. So that is something that is one of the cons to that grow out method. Now, the pros are obviously that you're able to separate them, and you're not really going to lose a lot of them when it comes to water quality, because obviously you're in quite a lot of water volume for the size of the fish. So that's one thing. The pros are kind of very similar. Lots of volume of water, pretty easy to change the water, and very easy to take care of. The only difference is obviously the shallowness of the water. So depth, because the trays aren't very deep. So potentially in the future setups, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at doing something differently, and I'm going to look at how the way I build these fry grass trays and fry grass systems going forward. So this is probably the quickest and easiest way of doing it, but at the moment it's not the most efficient way for me. So grow out boxes, these guys, this is what I've settled on as being the best grow out method for me, because you're able to see them side on and grow nice and quickly. So these guys were in the grow out trays, but since I've had them upright in the breeding boxes, I've been able to see them grow really quickly. I've been able to see them, and I've been able to look to see if there's any defects, and if there is, been able to remove those defects and been able to take care of them a lot easier. It also gives you a large volume of water, because you're attached to the tank below. So obviously this is a tank attached to a 20-gallon tank. So this is 20. Oh, I don't even know how much is in that. It's 20 litres. So 20 litres plus 20 gallons, it's a lot. So they have really nice clean water, and obviously you're able to vacuum it out every day in order to make sure that they have exactly really healthy, really clean water, and they're really easy to watch. And that's the main thing around this, is being able to see them grow and being able to see them and watch them. And that's what I really think is really important. So that's my method number 2. Method number 3 is very simple. You just leave them in there with the parents and you see where things go. Now this has happened numerous times, and obviously that's how the 4 masterized that are in this big grow out tote have got there, because they were growing out in the tank with their parents, and they just grew out to a position where I was able to remove them. Now obviously the cons of that is that you lose a lot of the fry because the parents eat them, but the ones that do survive grow the quickest, they are the strongest, so you get the best quality. So that's kind of where that is really. So let me just go and show you some that are in a tank at the moment, if I can get some video of them. So down here in this tank with Big O and his girl, there is two fry that have survived, and are at the same size as the ones in the above tank. And actually, I personally think that they're better colour, and they've grown a lot quicker than their siblings, because they've obviously been with the parents and they've been feeding off of the aquarium. So I personally think this is the best method. Now, do you get as many fry? Like I said earlier, no you don't, because the parents, the female or the male, I'm pretty sure it's the female, eats a lot of them because she's hungry. And that's where that is really with that. So I've given you the 3 methods of which I've used to raise fry. Now I haven't tried the method of removing the male yet, because I don't really feel comfortable moving fish, because like I've always said before, I find that very stressful for them and also very stressful for me, because I don't like to remove the males unless I absolutely have to, and it's not something that I would really consider doing. It's dangerous, in my opinion. Now, a lot of people just move fish from tank to tank, but for me, it's not something that I would ever consider doing. And actually, like I said about him before, very good parent. Never bothers the children, never bothers the fry. And he allows her to raise them until I remove them. There's one of the fry there, swimming on there. There we go. See? So, you know, they grow a lot faster in this tank, and they are, yeah, they obviously you get the best quality because they are it's the survival of the fittest. But obviously, you know, if you're after maximum amount of fry, you have to remove them. So that's my thoughts on my 3 methods in which I've raised fry at the present moment in time. Now going forward in the future, am I going to do some different stuff, some different experiments? 100%. I just want to see, I want to try everything out that I possibly can in order to see what the best method is out there for me, because, you know, doing things differently can only make things better or worse. But, you know, at least until you try, you don't really know. So I'm going forward, I'm going to build another grass system, very similar to other things that you see on YouTube, because mine at the moment is a very low budget version. And what I wanted to kind of supersize that and superscale that in order to get the most growth possible. Go out trade, go out tanks, etc, etc, etc. That's the aim for the new fish room, and for this current fish room. And yeah, that pretty much sums it up for this video. If you've liked this, make sure you like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at adams.aquatics, and join me again for another video.